and sing of your Caribbean pride.
Good morning, Ms. Nurse, and thank you also for having me here and explaining about this whole concept of I AM CARICOM. Actually, we started with this, and when I say we, it means the Strategic Management Unit and the Office of the Deputy Secretary-General in 2016, 2017, when within the context of the results-based management, awareness, and sensitization sessions, we were visiting our CARICOM member states. And we were then also talking about our strategic plan. That was the 2014-2019 strategic plan. And what we experienced is that our citizens, our politicians, civil society, private sector, the youth, in our CARICOM countries, in our community, at that time, and I think still, they're hardly aware, not all of them, but most of them, they're hardly aware of what CARICOM actually means, the impact of CARICOM's work in the respective member states, and related to that, the impact on our citizens. But there is something else. You might recall that, especially in those years, still, but maybe now to a lesser extent, the complaint, what is CARICOM? CARICOM is not doing anything, the value of CARICOM. And when we were in the sessions, in most member states, that is what we heard from the audience too. But we were prepared, and we gave them concrete examples, okay, how the work of CARICOM, and in this case the CARICOM Secretariat, the several projects and so on, the activities, is having a direct impact on the citizens. And then you hear, oh, but we didn't know. But what surprised us more, if you have that from the average citizen, I can understand. But when you meet with like members of parliaments, you meet senators, and they say, but I don't know what are you people doing, and for so long CARICOM. And when you look at the respective persons, in one case, I had to ask the senior gentleman, senior in age, how long, sir, are you? And when he said like 40 years, others are ministers of agriculture, and they're sitting in an audience, then it made me realize that, and as I've mentioned it also in those meetings, CARICOM is not a ball up in the air that you refer to, oh, CARICOM, oh, CARICOM. We, all of us, even you interviewing me, you're part of CARICOM, right? And if we don't do our part actively, when we complain when things are not being done, it's not somebody out there that we have to complain, right? We have to point the finger at ourselves, because it means that we are not doing something. So I AM CARICOM, short means actively internalizing CARICOM with you, which also then means that you have to actively execute, implement activities, so that when we say CARICOM, then we say that CARICOM is making progress. If CARICOM is not making progress, we have to blame ourselves, because we are not doing our part. It is no use, and we experience that also, it's no use, you're at the helm of a meeting, you're chairing, you're representing your member state, and you can take decisions, but you do not take the decision for several reasons, maybe looking too much at the national interest, not going outside the borders and see how on a long term, the decision can positively impact my country, or due to several conflicting national interests at home. I'm just giving a few examples. It might not be the case in every country, and I'm not pointing fingers at people, but these are some realities. Then yes, CARICOM will not work. A decision that should have been taken in 2004, we are still grappling with it, still spending money on those things. I'm looking at some of the CSME, CARICOM Single Market and Economy issues, for example, that for 14 years we have not realized. Why? Because we don't want to take certain decisions and we don't want to implement it, right? So don't blame CARICOM like it's a strange thing out there. Let us blame ourselves. And this is the root, this is the reason for the I AM CARICOM. Internalize. Become an active participant, an active citizen within the CARICOM construct. Okay? So I hope I have been able to explain it, what I AM CARICOM. It's not just communicate and make people aware. Yes, that's fine. I can communicate with you and I can tell you as much as I want. But if you don't internalize it, you don't support, you don't execute, we're nowhere. Okay? So something has to follow. And that is what we want with the I AM CARICOM. We do see buy-in because several member states, we've sent out some information to them what they could have done before the in July when we celebrated CARICOM's birthday. So a lot has been done. A lot of fanfare has been given, if I may say so. People had, dress up, cooking, and those things. But I really hope it doesn't stay with that. It goes beyond, just a T-shirt or a cooking week and you make CARICOM dishes and so on. I really hope that we take decisions and we implement those things. Okay? It should not become just a ceremonial I AM CARICOM thing. That is something really I need to caution for. Do not let it become a ceremonial I AM CARICOM. Let it become an active, a practical I AM CARICOM. So that in the end, as the Prime Minister says, we can say we are CARICOM. And that is important. So yes, we are seeing the buy-in. In the meantime, you also have a regional private sector organization, and so on. So that is good. We see other organizations are also trying to do their best to assist when it comes to our strategic plan. They are dealing with certain aspects, for example, of our strategic plan. Look what's happening in the case of domestic violence, abuse, crime, with the youth, and so on. So there is some buy-in. I hope it accelerates because we don't have enough time. I mean, every time some other emergency is coming up, and every month and every year that you lose is wasted, right? And monies could have been spent otherwise. So the buy-in is there, I would say. It is not centered around CARICOM Day. It is not time-bound. The Strategic Management Unit, together with the unit you're representing, our communications unit within the CARICOM Secretariat, will continue with the I AM CARICOM campaign, and a lot more will be done. So far, we had some video productions. We had some contacts with member states to get some things done in member states, involving the youth, involving the government agencies, and so on. So that will continue, of course. A lot of work needs to be done. And I really hope the CARICOM Committee of Ambassadors, they are also very heavily involved in it. You might have noticed in July also several CARICOM ambassadors were also dealing with the awareness, the campaigns, and so on. So it is not time-bound, and it is not around July alone. It has to be done on a continuous basis. The project now will really be taken over by the Strategic Management Unit, and the director, Mr. Beresford, has left. I mean, he's back in his country. So for now, it will be Ms. Hippolina Joseph who will be at the helm of this, and assisted by Mr. Paul Taylor. And we will work very closely with the communications unit because it cannot be done alone. And then we also need the support, the assistance, but also the input from all the other directorates. And we are closely working with our CARICOM Committee of Ambassadors because we need to have that outreach in the member states. Okay, so that is another aspect of it. And this is the way how we will continue with the I AM CARICOM campaign. So far, the cost is our human resources, our own input, and also the input, as I mentioned, of the individuals, the CARICOM Committee of Ambassadors, and so on. This also tells you about active involvement of individuals, of CARICOM citizens in I AM CARICOM. Okay? So far in when it comes to finances, it has not cost us anything when financially wise. But for human resources, yes. If you had outsourced it, it would be something else. But we're not outsourcing it. We don't have the monies, right? So everything that you have seen so far, the video productions and so on, all of this is coming internally from within the CARICOM Secretariat. And I must say, the buy-in, I AM CARICOM, when you look at the video productions, it's the youth, the children of our CARICOM staff members who are also participating. There you see, at a very young age, they are getting involved. They know what CARICOM is. They know what they have to do, right? So that's a plus. And I must say, even myself, I have discovered that our staff members working here in the CARICOM Secretariat, their children, wow, you should see the resources that we have there, how talented they are. And this at no cost to the CARICOM Secretariat, right? So who knows which young, talented, right now person might reach what later on. But a lot of talent exists in our community. And I think we have to give our youth, our children, an opportunity. And these types of things, right? You can use it, but it benefits them too. And it adds value to the work that we are doing. And in the end, it's an overall buy-in, right? Overall ownership. Because it's just like a chain. If one does not help, does not assist, you will reach nowhere. And I think all hands on deck, this is a clear example of how we should be working together in achieving what we want to do with CARICOM. Okay, Mr. Morgan, on behalf of the I AM CARICOM campaign that is being led by ODSG, the Office of the Deputy Secretary-General, and Strategic Management Unit, of course, being part of the Office of the Deputy Secretary-General. These are some small devices and also some I AM CARICOM t-shirt that I'm sure the communications unit can use. And I want to thank you for all the support and the assistance that the communications unit has given and will continue to give our ODSG directorates and departments, but especially within the context of the I AM CARICOM campaign. So this is for the unit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, DSG, for this very timely donation. And judging from what I'm seeing in the bag, it is also a collection of very practical tokens. Well, of course, the T-shirts will assist with the branding, but the other items will assist with the productions, which are very, very important. So I want to say on behalf of the communications unit, thank you. Resources are always scarce, and it's very difficult to find new and replacement equipment to continue the work, and so this makes this donation from ODSG very timely. I want to say once again, on behalf of the unit, to express our thanks and appreciation for this effort to help us to continue with the work that we're doing.
I also want to take this opportunity within the I AM CARICOM campaign and in the context to also give a check to, well, not check, cash to the Director of Finance, right? The reason being that when the submission is made for the amount of money is needed for to beautify the west corner of the solar power energy project, that this money can be used, right, for that. So this is, I would say, initial sum, not much, but still, I think something that can be a startup to be used for it. Let me say counterpart funding or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you want to call it, okay? And so Director Finance, may I ask you to receive this?
Thank you, DSG. I can say on my own behalf that this is an exciting contribution, because I know you have played a large role in beautifying the remainder of the compound. You have given names to all of the shrubbery and plants in the compound, and you have placed a lot of order in that. So this is consistent with continuing, and even though you are leaving us, I am certain that this, together with other funds, and I will ensure that, God's willing, that it is used judiciously to beautify our surroundings, because beautiful surroundings do have an impact on how we feel, and tidy surroundings, they do have that impact. So once again, DSG, thank you so much on behalf of the entire Secretariat. I accept this in my role as Director of Finance, and will ensure that it is judiciously spent in furtherance of the project.
Raise your voices high and sing.